Welcome to Question Bank. This is a revision video for the subject Power Electronics. If you have completed a subject, revising the same again and again makes you more efficient for an exam. So in this series of videos, we are going to revise Power Electronics again and recall all the theoretical concepts and mathematical formulae. Those are very important. So in this revision video we will not go through the explanations but only recall the important points. This video may help you to practice question papers and it may be perfect for pre-examinations revision. So let's get started. The first topic of the power electronics is semiconductor devices, which is the base of power electronics, and in the next subjects we are going to study the uses of these devices. So what are the basic devices? That is power diode, thyristor, GTO, bipolar transistor, MOSFET and IGBT. These are the devices, and first in this video I am going to only discuss the power diode. So what is a power diode? Power diode is a three-layered device. In case of electronics diode, general low power signal diodes, we have studied that is only a P and N junction, PN junction diode. But in case of power diode, which is used for high power applications, this is a three layer. That means there is a lowerly doped N layer in between higherly doped P and N layer. This is P plus, that means this is a heavily doped P layer. This is N plus, that means heavily doped N layer, and this is the drift layer. This is called drift layer and this is written as N minus. This is lowerly doped, this is lowerly doped N layer. This is called drift layer. So here I have written these power devices, however, are required to carry up to several kiloamperes for current under forward bias condition and block up to several kilovolts under reverse bias condition. So next is, this is the reverse biasing characteristic, and here this blocks the, what is reverse biasing? If this is the diode, if we connect, this is the positive and this is the negative of the diode, that means this is the anode and this is the cathode. Suppose this is K. If I connect this one to the negative and this one to the positive of the source, then it will be reverse biased. In reverse biased condition, this blocks voltage up to certain range, and at that voltage at which it breaks down or avalanche occurs, this is called the reverse breakdown voltage. So these are the definitions I have given here. DC blocking voltage, the maximum direct voltage that can be applied in the reverse direction across the device for indefinite period of time. This is DC blocking voltage. Next comes RMS reverse voltage. It is the RMS value of a power frequency since wave voltage that can be directly applied across the device. Next comes the peak repetitive reverse voltage. This is maximum permissible voltage of reverse voltage appearing periodically across the device. Then comes the peak non-repetitive reverse voltage. It is the maximum allowable voltage of the instantaneous reverse voltage across the device that must not occur. This is occur. So in the previous slide, the question can be asked about the layer and the drift region. These are the two main questions can be asked, and from this slide only the questions can be asked as this order. First thing is what are the orders? Orders may be manipulated and can be make more than one choices, so that this can be question can be framed as this voltage and their orders. So VRDC is the minimum, that means DC blocking voltage, which can be applied for much more infinity time. So this is the minimum, so this should be minimum. And here VRSM, that is last one, peak non-repetitive reverse voltage, is the maximum, which must not be applied to the diode in reverse biased condition. And then comes VRRM, this is peak repetitive voltage, it can be applied but not continuous, repetitive like a pulse. And then comes RMS, and last one is VV, that is breakdown. After breakdown this will flow current and the device will be damaged. And here another thing we have to remember, that if I zoom it, here this one is the temperature junction and junction temperature. If we increase the junction temperature, then the breakdown will be earlier, that means the VB, that is breakdown voltage, will be lower. Breakdown voltage will be lower breakdown voltage will occur, and the leakage current, here it is the leakage current, this one is the leakage current. And in case of second, if with temperature increase, then leakage current will be high in case of higher temperature, higher junction temperature. So next it is the forward biased condition. In case of forward biased condition, we have to apply positive to the P terminal and negative to the negative terminal, that is cathode of the diode, and this is positive biased condition. In case of positive biased condition, diode allows current through itself, and these are the definitions which should be remembered, that maximum RMS forward current, that is the, in case of reverse biased condition, voltage is the main thing, and in case of forward condition, as it allows the current, so here current is the main thing, so different parameters of the current are given here. So maximum RMS forward current is maximum allowable RMS value of the forward current, this is the maximum RMS forward current, IFRMS. This definition may be changed linguistically. And next is the maximum average forward current. This is the maximum average current a diode can conduct in the forward direction. Next is the average forward power loss. This is the average forward power loss over a full cycle. These things we have to remember. Surge and fault current arising due to some abnormality in the power circuit may have a higher peak value but exist for shorter duration, usually less than half cycle of the power frequency. This is the, suppose this is the power frequency 50 Hz and this is the full cycle, this is the half cycle, and the surge fault current should have the peak less than this one. Suppose this is the half cycle timing, so this will be less than this one. Next is peak repetitive surge current. This is the peak value of the repetitive surge current that can be allowed to flow through the diode for specific duration and for specified condition before and after the surge. These are the definitions we should remember. And then things, temperature. If junction temperature increases, then the earlier conduction is allowed. That means if normal temperature, room temperature, at this point, that at this voltage the current conduction occurs. Suppose this is V1, then if we increase temperature at this voltage, suppose V2, current conduction will occur. This is called cut in voltage. This is called cut in voltage, and always V2 will be less than V1 for T2 is higher than T1. This is the condition, and this we have to remember. This is called cut in voltage, and in case of silicon diode, cut in voltage generally varies from 0.7 volt to 1 volt. In case of electronic low power signal diodes, this is 0.7 volt, and in case of power diode, this generally varies from 0.7 volt to 1 volt. Next is this one is important because in 2013 GATE it was asked the ideal characteristic of a diode. Ideal characteristic how? If there is no leakage, so there will be current will follow. There will be no leakage, then current will flow, and if there is no breakdown in the reverse bias condition, that is the ideal. Ideal condition is reverse bias. In case of reverse bias, no breakdown, no leakage. So if no breakdown and no leakage, then this will resist up to infinite. This will resist any voltage up to infinite, and there will be no leakage current. So if there is a leakage current, then it will go like this, and if there is a breakdown, this will be like this. Here current will increase. So as there is no breakdown and no leakage, this will resist up to infinite. And in case of forward bias, for ideal condition, there will be no voltage drop. Here is the voltage drop, that is around 0.7 to 1 volt, and there will be no voltage drop. So this will be infinite current. So this is the ideal characteristic of a diode. Next is the transient characteristic or turn on and turn off characteristic. This is the turn on characteristic, and when if we increase the voltage across the diode in forward bias manner, that means from reverse to forward, if we go, then at the maximum voltage, that is VFR, it will conduct current to the maximum and it will be constant, and then voltage will be decreased. As it conducts current, voltage will be decreased and it will be at a constant, that will be, this constant value is generally 0.7 to 1 volt. This is the voltage, cut in voltage. And here it is the turn off characteristic. In case of turn off characteristic, when we apply reverse voltage across the, here if we apply reverse voltage across the diode, then it will be turned off from turned on condition, and in this condition it will be to peak, and then it will be, this is the VRR, this is reverse voltage, and then it will be VR, that is reverse voltage continuous condition. This will be reverse voltage at continuous condition, and here the current will be like this. Current will be down to 0, and then reverse current, some of the reverse current will flow due to the charge stored in the drift region as a capacitor. As this is act as a capacitor, some charge will be stored and this will be recovered. So this is called reverse recovery time, and reverse recovery time is this one. This is T4 and this is T5, and T reverse recovery time for reverse recovery is T4 plus T5. This is reverse recovery time. And what is T4? T4 is the charge stored in the depletion region is removed. This time is for removal of the charge stored. And what is the T5? Charge from the semiconductor layer is removed. And there is another term called softness factor. Softness factor. What it describes? It describes how easily one diode can be switched off or can be changed according to the frequency. This is called softness factor, and this is the T5 by T4. This is T5 and T4. Softness factor is T5 by T4. This is also called S factor. And if S factor is equal to 1, this is called soft recovery diode. And if less than 1, this is called fast recovery diode or snappy recovery diode. And here another thing we have to remember, here this one is IRR, that means reverse recovery current, and IRR reverse recovery current, maximum reverse recovery current, and this can be given as IRR is given as TA into di by dt. That means TA is here, sorry, T4, this is T4 into di by dt, that is T4 is here and di by dt is the rate of change of current during turn off condition. And another thing is here TRR. TRR is defined as, that is reverse recovery time is defined as the root over of 2 QRR by di by dt, and QRR is the charge stored to reverse recovery, charge stored during reverse recovery. And here if we consider here from previous one, if we consider neglect T5, if we neglect T5, and we can write it as TRR is equal to T4, I can explain here as IRR is equal to this one, IRR is equal to rate of change over, this is di by dt into 2 QRR. This one is the formula. So next thing is, what type of diodes are generally used? There is not only exist only p-n junction diode, there are also Schottky diodes. Those are metal junction diodes. Schottky diodes are generally metal semiconductor junction diode, and generally available in the market aluminum silicon junction diode. What are the specialty? These are, and this silicon is generally n-type silicon. What are the specialty of Schottky diodes? These have no recovery time, reverse recovery time, so these are very fast, and these have very low cut-in voltage, lower than 0.7, higher reverse leakage current. In case of reverse recovery, they have higher reverse recovery current and higher operating frequency they have, but low rating. Suppose these are available for 1 kilovolt, suppose this is not true, suppose general diodes are available for 1 kilovolt operation rating, then Schottky diodes are available for less than 1 kilovolt. So these have low ratings and used for high frequency operations such as SMPS, that means switching mode power supply and etc. And forward current is due to the electrons only. These have no holes because there are n type silicon semiconductor is used, and these have the electron is the most carrier, that is the higher carrier is electron. So next type of diode is a fast recovery diode. Schottky diode is also a fast recovery diode, and fast recovery diodes are having low TRR, that is reverse recovery time is very low. These are designed to be in high frequency circuits in combination with controllable switches. There are where a small reverse recovery time is needed at power levels of several hundreds of volt and several hundreds of amperes. Such diodes have less TRR. So difference between Schottky diode and fast recovery diode are, this is Schottky diode is metal semiconductor junction and this is semiconductor junction, p and n type semiconductor junction, and these are having higher rating than Schottky diodes. Next is line frequency diode. This is on state voltage of these diodes is designed to be as low as possible and as a consequence have larger TRR, which are acceptable for many of the applications also. If we want higher TRR, then these are the diodes. Line frequency diode. Line frequency diode means generally it is used for 50 Hz or 60 Hz. Line frequency is 50 Hz or 60 Hz, but for SMPS or anything that may be in kilohertz or megahertz frequency. And general purpose diodes are generally line frequency diodes. These are used in UPS battery charging, where the shape of the output voltage is generally not matters a lot, and traction, these are used in these fields. So this is the end of this topic, and in next topic we are going to discuss the thyristor, which is the base of the whole power electronics. So thank you for watching up to here.